when we think about angels' abilities, are they able to influence our thinking?
Yeah, that's a really good question. There's no indication in the Bible that angels do that other than by delivering the messages of God. So obviously they are God's messengers. They turn up at a number of points and deliver God's messages. They're always acting as God's spokespeople there, or as agents of God. They don't serve their own purposes. Except, of course, that's not true of the fallen angels. That by definition, they are the ones who have sort of opted out of serving God's purposes and are now trying to serve their own purposes. And the Bible does suggest that Satan and his forces, the demons, they do try to influence us, occasionally through possessing people, but the normal mode is through accusation. In fact, that's what Satan means. It means accuser. He is the accuser of the saints, and through temptation, through accusation and temptation. And so that is an attempt to influence us, and to some extent, obviously, that sometimes succeeds. You know, we, even as Christians, we can feel weighed down by the accusations of Satan, and that's why we have so many promises and encouragements in the scriptures to be able to stand fast in the righteousness that Christ gives us, and to sort of defeat the arrows of the fiery darts of the evil one with the shield of faith, by saying, true, I am a sinner who deserves condemnation, but Christ is my righteousness, and they'll be able to stand firm against those accusations. But those encouragements come because actually Satan does accuse, does tempt us to sin, and does influence us, I think, through the lies of this world. There's a sense in which the sum is greater than the parts, in the sense that the way human cultures and societies work is that when you get large numbers of people believing the same thing, that in a sense becomes its own force and pressure, and that's what the Bible calls worldliness. And worldliness is in one sense its own thing, but it's also shaped by Satan himself and the way he influences individuals, and that's a very strong influence on us, occasionally for good. Peer pressure and social constraint stops people going around murdering other people, but often also for ill. And that's why, again, in the scriptures we have all sorts of warnings against worldliness and loving the world, and rather than loving God.